Hi everyone. In our week 9 module, we're going to move on from discussing pollutants and different types of pollutants that humans create and how they impact humans in the environment, which is what we've been discussing for the last 3 modules. And now we're going to focus on a different topic. So this topic for this week is looking at biodiversity and how humans are impacting global biodiversity. So real quick, biodiversity is the variety of all the living things on the planet, both the different types of living things, the amount of genetic differences that we have within those populations of living things. All of that is important to humans. And in this particular module, you're going to learn why biodiversity is important. And you're also going to learn how humans are doing very specific things that are impacting those living things. So we're going to talk about something called the hippo dilemma, which you're going to learn about. In this module, you'll notice that there's something a little different than our normal modules, is that I don't give a specific lecture. So there's no recorded lecture for this that comes from me. Instead, what I'm providing for you is a couple of different videos that give you a different perspective on some of these topics. So the first one that I want to talk about is this video that comes from Costa Rica. We have a partnership with a field station down in Costa Rica, and when things were different pre-pandemic, there were actually study abroad opportunities that Harper students could take to go to Costa Rica and to learn about some of these things. But in the meantime, we have partnered with them to create some really great videos for us. And actually, I introduced an optional video several weeks ago that you could have watched to learn about ecosystems, specifically rainforest ecosystems. This particular video is about endangered species, and so once again, I'd like you to sort of watch that so you can learn more from Gustavo about how things are threatened in the rainforests of Costa Rica in particular. And then the other video that I have this week talks about what introduced species are and how they are impacting, again, ecosystems in particular, and things that we can sort of look out for and do as humans to lessen that impact. So I'm still providing you with lecture notes, which again go over the concepts that are in the reading that you'll be doing this week, and also those concepts which are talked about in these 2 videos. But again, there's nothing specific for me this time, so I'm providing you with other learning opportunities, if you will. And then I have a series of optional videos here. So these aren't things that you necessarily have to watch, but if you are interested in learning about what we're doing in the tropics, what we're doing again in Costa Rica in particular to protect and preserve some of this biodiversity, I highly recommend watching these videos, and they're only like 5 minutes each. They're very short, but it gives you a really good perspective of from the people who are actually there doing the work, what's happening and what's going on. So the other thing that is a little bit different for this module is that you have another green tech assignment. So remember that we are continuing to work on this green tech project. You put in your brainstorm topics, which was great. Gave you all feedback on those, had a lot of really good ideas on projects that you guys could complete. Now what I want you to do is I want you to narrow it down and just choose one of those topics, whichever one you want, and I'd like you to create a 1-page outline of information. So this is going to be the information that you're going to use to put together your project. Now, whether that means, again, you can write a paper, you can create a video, you can create a presentation. There's a whole lot of flexibility I gave you with things that you could possibly do for this project. But this topic outline is going to give me an idea or a sense of what you're going to be talking about. So again, just one of those topics that you identified in your brainstorm, and then you can do an outline. And this can be a bullet point outline. I'm completely fine with that. It doesn't have to be a written paper, but I would like an outline of information you'll be discussing. So give me the who, what, when, where, and why of your topic, essentially. And again, if you need more information about what I'm looking for in the project outline, don't forget that you can go to course materials and you can go to green technology presentations. And again, I have an assignment breakdown document here, which gives you more specific information about what I'm looking for this particular part. So let's go back to our learning modules. And again, So that's the only other, again, I'd say additional thing this week is just to make sure that in addition to your lab, in addition to the lab quiz, in addition to the check-in and the discussion question, you will also be doing this Green Tech project. So please plan accordingly for this particular project. This also represents the last week that we will be doing student-led discussions. So this will be the last week that we have people who have signed up for a time, if you will, to lead those discussions. So after this week, we will transition back to instructor-led discussions. So for the last few weeks of the semester, I will once again be posting things on the board for you as usual. So I just wanted to let you know that this would be the final week that you'll see those questions from students. That does it for this week. If anybody has any questions, as always, please let me know, and have a great week, everybody.